Hi everyone, we are back again with another episode of Make It Happen with Lizzie, who is me. I'm Lizzie. Nice to meet ya. So, today we are making a super simple, very easy, perfect for summer dessert. It is called a crostata. Crostata. It's a crostata. I'm trying to do it the Giada approved way. So a crostata is basically just a free-form Italian pie. It's kind of like a pie without pressure or standards. You don't have to make it look perfect, it can be rustic. Wow, this is a super easy dessert to mess up. Wait, that was like a Freudian slip. So while this is a super easy dessert to whip up, I have a few tips that'll take it from good to great. So let's do it. The recipe's on Jotzy to make this dough. It's really easy. It's on the food processor, which is like Win. It's the raspberry jam crostata recipe on Jotzy, which is a really good one to go off of because you can just make the dough and then fill it with whatever you want. Today, we are going to fill ours with peaches, which I can't remember if I said or not already, but yeah, that's what we're doing. So, tip number one, when I'm using just a plain fruit filling like this, I like to toss in a little bit of flour and a little bit of sugar. And I would do that for almost any fruit that's cut up like this, whether it's apples or pears or another stone fruit, like, you know, pitted cherries, plums, apricots, whatever. And the reason for that is if I were just to put the peaches as is in the oven right now, they would potentially get a little bit dried up and not have the most pleasing texture. So sugar is hygroscopic, which means it's gonna draw out moisture. So that's what we want to happen here. So I have like 6 peaches in here because I'm gonna make 2, and this is about 6 tablespoons of sugar. So I'm gonna throw that in. And then you also wanna do flour because the flour will thicken up that sugary syrup that gets made just enough so that it's really pleasing, nice texture. And I only have 2 tablespoons of flour here. My personal rule of thumb is I like to do about a 3-to-1 ratio of sugar to flour. So give that a little mixy mix. So we just have our lightly floured surface, and we're gonna wanna roll out a nice big circle with this. Part of the crostata is that there needs to be some overhang, like a nice border around the whole thing where there's no fruit, because we end up folding those sides over. It's kind of more of a rectangle shape, and it's got some very scraggly edges, so I'm just gonna like gently go around with my little paring knife here and roughly make a circle. And it definitely doesn't have to be perfect. I just kind of want something that's a bit easier to work with. All right, voila. So what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna assemble it straight onto the sheet pan where we're gonna bake it. That way we don't have to fuss around with anything. Okay, so there's a couple ways you can transfer dough. You can kind of like fold it up and bring it over that way and then unfold it, or you could use your rolling pin, which is what we're gonna attempt today. And voila. As you can see, beauty. Okay, so now is the time where you can choose to live your most extra life if you want to. We're gonna assemble the peaches, and there are so many ways you can do it. Like, just go on Pinterest, look up peach crostata or peach galette. You'll see people coming up with the most like incredible designs. Or you can throw them all in there. Like, it'll look really rustic and pretty even if you just literally toss all the peaches right in. So since I'm making 2, I'm gonna make them both look different, and this one I think I'm gonna try and like really make look like a pretty rose. So let's just do it. That actually was a lot less tedious than I thought it would be, and it's really pretty. So there's definitely, like, you can already tell these peaches are looking really glossy, and that's thanks to the sugar and the flour that we added. Here's the method for folding over the sides. I will show you. So you're just gonna make a couple cuts all around. It doesn't really matter how big they are, it just is gonna determine how close all of your overlapping folds are. I'm gonna do mine, I'd say it's about 2.5 inches apart. And you just want to keep it consistent all the way around. But the theme of today is that it doesn't have to be perfect. So we're just going to start somewhere, it doesn't really matter where, and fold it over like so. And then you just keep going. That's how easy that is. It's so cute already. And we're about to make it even better. I will show you. Egg wash. So if I were to just throw this in the oven, it would still be delicious, it would still be beautiful, but the crust would run the risk of looking a little bit chalky, a little dry, and what the egg wash will do is it'll make it look like high gloss, golden brown, beautiful. We're gonna stick some turbinado sugar on top to make it even more pretty, and this is gonna help it stick. So you can use a pastry brush. I have this little rubber one. You can use just like a natural pastry brush with the bristles. I've also definitely used just like my fingers before, so you don't need fancy tools to get this done. So what I did is I whipped up an egg with just about like half a tablespoon of water just to thin it out a bit. And we're just gonna pretty generously put this on, but you don't want huge pools of it either. You don't want like scrambled egg moments going on here. So now that we've got the egg wash totally covering all the exposed pastry, we're gonna get some sugar on this baby. So this is turbinado sugar. It's usually, you'll see it in bags called like sugar in the raw. Basically you want any kind of large granule sugar. So we're just gonna sprinkle this on all of the exposed crust. And this is just gonna add some really nice textural contrast. It's gonna make it extra pretty. I think for this one I'm gonna do more like a spiral. This is very calming. I don't know if you guys could tell, I'm like zenning out right now. Or maybe I'm just getting hypnotized. I'm staring into a spiral. You're getting sleepy. Ooh. Suddenly you just want to write nice comments about the video and like it and talk about how cool Lizzie is. There's a lot of nice like kind of peachy syrup that got released from all that sugar. You definitely want to include that in here. Ooh. Oh my god, I wish I could describe to you guys how this smells right now. It smells so good. You can see nothing got dried out. The fruit isn't dry at all. So this one looks really pretty. This one was the kind of rose looking one. She's a beauty. She's beautiful. This one's looking really lovely too. Okay, picture perfect. Crostata isn't complete until it's a la mode. Let's taste it. Oh my god. It's actually perfect. Do you ever taste something and it's so good that it like almost makes you mad? Like, that's kind of how I feel. I'm just like, what? Buon appetito. Oh wait. What's the thing Jada does? Buonissimo. I don't know what that means, but I've seen her do it. Ciao.